Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Laura with Stitchin with Laura. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is having a great Monday. We're to Monday again already. Unbelievable. Well, as you can see, I've kind of got a new project here. And this is from Joy Sunday, of course. Yeah. And it is an 11 count and it tells you to use 3 strands of thread. So we're going to try to start with 3 strands of thread. Sometimes I've found with these pre-printed canvases that it gets a little tight. So use your own discretion. You know, I stitch a few stitches that were like really close together to see if it's going to be workable for you. And if not, change it. Why not, right? Yeah, this is called Flower Stairs. And I just thought it was just absolutely gorgeous because pansies are my favorite. Yeah. So we're just gonna start and I will show you how I start. Now before we get started today, I want to clear up something. I've been getting a lot of either Instagram things or I don't know what you call it, messages from Instagram about getting notifications from Stitchin with Laura 6. I am not Stitchin with Laura 6 on Instagram. I went and I checked because when I first signed up for Instagram, I thought I could do it on my computer. So that didn't really work for me, and it wasn't, I thought, well, I better have one on my phone, you know, or have it on my phone. So I went to my phone and got it all installed and everything. And it was the same. I checked today. I'm still Stitchin with Laura, period. No 6, no other letters, numbers, anything. It's just Stitchin with Laura. So if you get any notifications from them, just block it. Because there's only one of me. And I'm just Stitchin with Laura. So I thought I'd try to clear that up before we got going for anybody that's getting notifications. And I went on my phone and went to Stitchin with Laura and blocked it. So I don't know what's going on, and I don't know Instagram well enough to know what's really going on. So that's all I can tell you. I am just Stitchin with Laura. So if you get any notifications from the other one, it's not me. So just plain Stitchin with Laura. I hope that makes that clear. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. So anyway, this is the pre-printed canvas, and it says it is 47 by 57 centimeters. So, and that is the whole piece of canvas. And as you know, Joy Sunday is real good. They send you a needle with your thing. In fact, I got 2 needles. Hey, get down. Miss Nosy Body has to be looking out the window, and then she has to bark. They send you 2 needles, and the key is all the way, on the bottom. It runs up and down, and it'll say, let's see if I can get to this side. It says full stitch, and I think that's all you do on this is full stitches. There's no, what do you call it? Specialty things. I'm not even seeing any kind of, it also comes with a printed pattern, of course. And I'm not seeing any back stitching, maybe a few things, but nothing intense. You don't have to go around all the flowers and all that kind of crap. So what I did was I thought I'd start over here with the plus sign, and it's right here. Let me see if I can bring you in. Yeah. We're in kind of a different... Oh, come on, please. Thank you. Okay, so I'm starting right here in this little corner. Now you can start at any corner, but this was the closest one to the edge. That's why I started here. You know, you can start wherever you want. And some people actually start with number 1 and they go through all the number ones. I can't do that. You know, number twos and no, I can't do that. I've seen people do that, and I just can't handle it. So I found out that symbol right there is number 5, which is right here, and it tells me it's number 210. And these are DMC colors. This is what it is here, and this is what number it corresponds with. So if you see, like here, I couldn't find one. Right here, put it down so you can see. Come on. Right here, it says number 24. So that would be what the number is down here. So you would look up I'm sorry, it's number 26. Jeez Louise, I can't even read. 26. So you would find number 26 here, and then you would find number 26 in your threads, and they all come like this. And here's your needles. Whoops, we're losing one. Get in there, little buddy. Comes with the 2 needles attached right here. And then all your threads are numbered. So you would look up number 26, which would be yellow. Right here. So I took off 1 strand of number 5. We're going to roll this up just for sakes, because we don't need it under our arms. They're all nice and soft. And I pulled off a whole strand, and then I divided it into 3, and I folded the whole strand because it was huge. I can't work with that much thread. And after a while of going through this, you don't want that long of a strand. It will start breaking. So I just cut it in half, and now we have a piece that's probably, 20 inches. And I'm trying to figure out how to do this, because I haven't done it this way. So I just pull it up through the square, leave a little tail, and that way you don't have to put a knot in it. You can put a knot in it. I've did it for years. So we're just going to go back down for right now. And I can't get this into a hoop. If you had a Q-snap, it might work. I don't know. It's awfully stiff fabric, but it will break down after a while of working with it. And just don't have any liquid sitting around. I got my coffee way over there, because I know me. And the reason I say that is, you get any liquid on this whole pattern is going to go away. Because when you're finished with this, you soak it in warm water, and it gets rid of all the dyes. That are on this piece of paper. And then some people get rid of all the dye first and then do the back stitching, but this one doesn't have any back stitching, so that's a good thing. And I found stamp cross stitch is something that I kind of like to do when I don't want to have to mess with counted cross stitch, or I've had too much of counted cross stitch. I just can't handle it. But this is an 11 count, so it shouldn't be too terribly bad. And if it is your first counted, or not counted, but stamped one, you might want to start with an 11 count. If you've never, done cross stitch, they do come in 11 and 14, and that's usually your choices, here and there, wherever you order yours. This probably came from Amazon. I ordered a lot of stamp things from Amazon, and I've also ordered things from AliExpress. And sometimes they're faster from Amazon, sometimes not. Just depends where it's coming from. And there is actually a Joy Sunday store on Amazon. And I've just ordered them from all different places and not had a problem. So I need to, sorry, I got some stuff under my feet here. Let me pull you out just a bit so you can see what I'm doing. This is a pretty purple. It's kind of a pale lavender. Now just make sure your cross stitches are all the same. And I like starting in a corner because I cannot start in the middle with these at all because it's so stiff. Now some people might put this on a scroll frame, which you can do. I've done it. I just don't like to stitch that way. It's easier for me to stitch this in hand than, you know, anything else because it's nice and stiff and you can hang on to it. And this one isn't very big, but I've got some that are, God, 45 inches across. They're a pain in the neck. They should be left in a scroll frame, but I just can't do it. I just cannot. So I just start at one corner. You can start at the other corner. This was just like the closest to the edge. And of course your hands might get a little tired. So you might want to pick a small thing to work on first. You know, until you get onto it. Not a big deal. Now I'm finding it's real easy to stitch, so I think I'm going to stick with the 3 strands. I've had some that I use 3 strands on, and I can't hardly get the needle up and down. You know, I got a little knot there. And every once in a while, you might want to just let your needle hang, and it gets the curly cues out of there. Lord, we need to clean off this table. I'm telling you. I'm trying to get over here by the light. Whoops. But this seems to be pretty straightforward. Not a big deal, you know, I mean, as far as lots of, you know, fussy, like back stitching, or what do you call them? Back stitching or French knots. That would be the only 2 things that come into play. So if you can see a picture of the pattern, you know, check that out first so you know what you're getting yourself into. So it's not too terribly hard. Now I just skipped up to this because it was pretty close. If it had been way over here, I would have done my thread in, you know, and tied it off. But it wasn't. Now you can use the loop method if you want with this. I'm sure it wouldn't be too much of a problem to start your thread. Or if you're a back starter and you come up, then all your stitches are gonna, what do you call it, catch your end piece that you started with. I just like to start on top so I can see what I'm doing. Now it's a little difficult to do my sewing method with this, but I try, and then sometimes, like this, I have to go down and start again. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. But don't let it intimidate you, you know. Now, after I finish with this thread, I may go until I use up another whole piece of thread. You know, that way I don't have to put anything back. Does that make sense? Because sometimes you'll have leftovers. And, you know, you're wanting to put it up, you know, and work on a different color in the same area. Now this really isn't hardly enough to get started with, so I'm just gonna lose it for right now. And it does give you the DMC numbers down here. Oops, I was looking for my coffee. So that if for any reason you run out of any of it, then you can get it, you know, another skein of it. I don't know. I haven't ever gotten that far, so I just don't know. But it's nice that it has the key here, and you don't have to, because, now, let me reiterate this. Okay, this is the printed one. I'm just going to flash it a second. And it has all these colors here. But this, the printed one, is not the same as what's stamped right here. So I very rarely, unless I'm looking to do the back stitching, do I consult this. Unless there is, now I don't see any place where it would be, but sometimes they get two colors that are really close together and you want to check out what color that really is. It's a nightmare. I mean, as far as that goes. So I work off of one thing. You're either going to work on the paper one or you're going to work on this. So, you know, you kind of make that decision in the beginning. If, you know, you can. I'm trying to find my thread. I'm not used to using 3 strands. It's a little weird. I had to find my other piece I had. So, but I found it, especially with Joy Sunday, just use what's right in front of you. Because then you don't have to go looking up the little certain number and all that. You got colors, you got nice big key on the bottom, and it's so much easier as far as that goes. Oh, I was going to do that, wasn't I? Dagnabbit. Oh, well. I was going to show you the loop method, but we're not doing that. So I'm just using the, like if you had cut your thread and you had to restart again. So I have just this, and I just hang on to the little tail. When I go down, if I can get a hold of it. And then come back up in the same square. And just kind of give this a little tug. And then go back, right back down. Now it's not going to move, hopefully. And then we're just going to cut it so it's caught now. I don't know how to do it on the back where the thread catches. That hasn't really worked out for me because I like to have it on top where I can see where it's at. But it's stitching real good, using 3 strands on an 11 count. And it has really good coverage. And the thread is nice and soft. I haven't had any Joy Sundays, I don't believe, that had horrible thread. So. I don't know if that means it's old or what. I just have no idea. We're gonna come down here and come back up. Yeah, I didn't cross that, did I? I'm telling you. There's just one more little blue one right there. And I always keep my crosses going in the same direction. I don't do many of these anymore, but I like to get them out every once in a while because it's an easy project to pick up because everything's laid out for you. It's unlike counted cross stitch, and every once in a while you just need to give your mind a rest. That much I do know. especially if you're working on a big project and you've been straining your eyes. This is so easy. You know, it's easy. Easier. Because you don't have to think, you just stitch. And if you want, you can wear a thimble. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends. Now, if I do this for a long period of time, sometimes I get a hole, but this is a nice blunt and, what do you call it, needle? So it doesn't poke in to your skin quite as bad as, you know, one if you were using counted cross stitch. But I'll go and I'll find all the little blue crosses and, you know, in an area, or until my thread runs out, whichever happens first. And then I'll go back and start another color and just start all over again, you know, doing all the reds or all the greens. I try to get an area done, if at all possible. And sometimes it's got a little bit of confetti in it, you know, where there's helter-skelters, but there's a few, so you might not want to get a whole piece of thread out, you know. You do what you want. I could hear something making a noise. I don't know what it is. It's kind of a squeaky noise. Maybe the guys are working today. Molly, hush. There's nobody out there. But that is how I start a counted cross stitch. I mean, counted. A pre-stamped cross stitch. Molly, hush. And you just go and fill in the color. Hey, really? There's nobody out there. Nobody's coming. I haven't been anywhere all weekend. We really need to get out of this house today. I'm telling you. Go do something. It's been in the 50s, so it's not like it's been terribly bad, which is nice. But I find it's kind of relaxing to do this. I have plenty of them to work on. I was going to work on yin and yang today, but I couldn't find the thread color I wanted, so I may have to make a trip to the, well, I call it the fabric store, because they're the only one that has, what do you call it, thread here in town. It's just a privately owned place. And they sell more fabric than, they have needles, of course, and I was going to say more supplies, but they have needles and scissors and pins and stuff like that, but, and they do have a big array of DMC floss, but they don't sell kits, they don't sell patterns. You know, they're more into the fabric than anything else, so. And they're kind of spendy. It's like $1 a skein for their DMC, so I usually don't try to go there to get my thread if I don't have to. Okay, let's see where we're at. Crap. Just trying to tell how far I was. I had a heart attack. Something moved behind this. I forgot I put my coffee over there. It's out of the way. But that is just how I start. I just pick a color and whatever's closest and stitch in one area. Don't have any plans much for this week. I think next weekend, or not next weekend, next Tuesday is the 15th already. Yep, we're just speeding right along. I think we'll go over here. And then I'll start my new ornament for next month. Right. Well, we got all that done. There. I am going to go back here because these guys are little Lone Rangers. I usually don't traipse you around, but I got the thread in there right now, so we're just going to go down and try to finish off this color. Now when I put the thread away, like let's say I have, just a minute here, I've got to get it where it needs to be. Like I have, let's say this piece. I will go to my thing with my thread on it. And we'll get to number 5 here. Just has beautiful colors. And I'll just pull it up, just number 5. Hang on. I'll kind of fold my thread 2 or 3 times. And I'll just make a loop. And loop it right on to that color. And that way I know, you know, there's no tying it anyplace else. And it just stays. And then when I'm ready to get it back, I just unloosen the little thing. And I've got my thread. But, yeah. And that's how I do that. Alright. Then I just fold these up real nicely and put it back in their little plastic bag. I may make a project bag for it, you know, so everything will fit. But it came in a nice plastic snap bag with a thing on it. It says Needlework Animal Series. Oh, well, good for you, because that didn't work. There's no animals in this that I know of. Unless I'm missing a rabbit somewhere, or a bird, or something. But that is how I get it started. And as you can see, that's what we've done on the back. And I didn't use any knots to start. And it gets the reason I'm trying to show you how to start the thread without making a knot is after you've stitched and you get that second or third color in there and you run into a knot, it's a pain in the neck. So if you can, try to use your loop method or the method I just used, you know, where the tail's out and then just do a couple rounds on the stitch. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and please hit the bell, and that way you will know when my next video comes out. Y'all have a good rest of your Monday and a good rest of your week. Stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands. God bless. See you next time. Bye-bye. Keep stitching.